So this person came into a video that has absolutely nothing to do with education or Illinois and said, Tom, what are your thoughts on the 30 Illinois, mainly Chicago schools with 0 students reading proficient? And then you gave a source in the comment section. Somebody asked you for your source, and I looked up your source. Your source is a WordPress blog. It's not an official source. So I did an extensive dive into your information. I searched 30 Illinois schools with 0 students reading at proficient. And there are a handful of off the beaten path news sources that all refer back to that blog that doesn't produce any actual data. Now, what I did find was as follows. This place here, the Pahrump Valley Times, seems to agree with your assessment, right? Talks about Nevada for a little bit. Nevada, my apologies. And then it talks about Spry high schools in Chicago must be thriving. After all, nearly $50,000 a student is almost 3 times greater than optimal funding. But it's not. Spry doesn't have a single student proficient in reading. Not a single student is proficient in math. All that money can't even get kids to show up. Spry's chronic truancy rate is more than 87%. So they're talking about these Spry schools. According to the logic of Nevada's education establishment, Spry Community Links high schools in Chicago should be the envy of every nation, per pupil spending, yada, yada, yada. And then they say that this information comes from the Illinois State Board of Education 2023 report card. So when you go to the Illinois Board of Education's 2023 report card, it does show that there is a reading proficiency problem, to be sure. Illinois State Education administrators are celebrating strong progress for Illinois students as proficiency in both reading and math increased between 2022 and 2023 based on data from the newly released Illinois report card. But what remained consistent was fewer students were performing at or above grade level in 2023 than prior to the pandemic. The data shows only 35% of students could read at grade level in 2023, only 27% math proficiency. Illinois Superintendent of Education Tony Standard said the state has a significant distance to travel as far as getting these proficiency numbers up. Reading proficiency remains 6% lower in 2023 than in 2019. Illinois State Board of Education and the Illinois Assessment Readiness Program reports 2/3 of 8th grade students could read at a grade level in spring of 2023, so forth and so on. I don't see where 30 schools have 0 children reading at proficiency. No, I can't find it anywhere. But I do have here the NAEP, National Assessment of Educational Progress, reading scores for the nation. For all 50 states. Number 1 in the nation, New Jersey. Number 2 is Massachusetts. Number 3 is Utah. Number 4 is Connecticut. Number 5 is Vermont. Number 6 is Idaho. So far, you've got a nice mixture of red states and blue states, right? Right off the bat, blue, blue, red. Then you go blue, blue, red. Then you come down here to 7, blue, Colorado. 8, blue, New Hampshire. 9, purple in Wisconsin. 10, red, definitely red in Ohio. And then look at that, number 11, Illinois. We're not the top, but we're number 11 in the nation. So that tells me that the reading proficiency issues that we're having here in Illinois is not uncommon across the state. I mean, states with worse reading proficiency than Illinois include South Dakota, New York, Washington, Montana, Wyoming, Indiana, Minnesota, Georgia, Iowa. Let's go ahead and load up some more. Florida, Virginia, Rhode Island, Nebraska, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Hawaii, Nevada, California, Arizona, Michigan, Kentucky, North Dakota, Missouri, Tennessee, Oregon, Maine, Louisiana, Kansas, North Carolina. We're down to number 40 here. Sorry, I'm going to load some more for you here momentarily. Ooh, the computer's moving slow. My apologies here. Well, that's unfortunate that the computer is moving that slowly. Regardless, you get my point. Illinois is number 11 in reading proficiency. So my question to you is, since you asked me a question about my thoughts on 30 alleged schools that have 0 students at proficiency, if you're concerned with reading proficiency, which we all should be, how come you're not asking any questions about all of the rest of the states that have worse reading proficiency than Illinois? Once again, Illinois is 11th in the state, which means there are a shit ton of states that have worse reading proficiency. And I can find absolutely no source other than a blog, which I can write a blog anytime I want, giving you any numbers I want, stating that there are 30 schools with 0 students at reading proficiency. So I would ask you to cite another source that isn't a blog. And secondly, where are your questions about all the states that have worse reading proficiency than my state?